Of introducing this capstone tonight. I was her advisor for the last year, and we've been working on this project for quite some time. When Emy first came to me, she said, I want to write a musical for her capstone. My initial thought in my head was, no. Because it's quite a project, obviously. But I said to her, well, tell me what you're interested in, why you want to do it. After I heard her explanation and how passionate she was about it and how much research she had already done, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have had the heart to say no, because I have not seen a student so passionate about a project since being here at Clemson. She has worked tirelessly on this for even years, even before we started working on it. Weekly in our lessons, the amount of research that she has done on this backstory and everything, and the time that she's taken to incorporate it into writing original music and teaching the score to the cast and putting all of this together has been really, really inspiring for everybody. And I know that you're going to be just wowed by the amount of work that she has put into this. So without further ado, we will welcome the cast to the stage.
Hello, and welcome to the stage reading of Elizabeth the Musical. A stage reading is a performance where actors read and sing from a script aloud, often with minimal staging. Tonight's stage reading will be a little bit unusual because I'm doing it as part of a capstone in music composition for my music degree here at Clemson. We will be performing song selections, and I'll be speaking in between to fill in plot gaps and to talk about my composition process. I also would like to invite you to interact with the programs as we go along. I have descriptions of each of the songs, a page showing the different motifs that you're going to hear tonight, as well as pictures of the actual people these characters are based on. My mom and I became hooked on a documentary series called Drain the Ocean during the pandemic. The two of us had been on a month-long obsession of watching every documentary we could find on Netflix, and had just discovered a gold mine of National Geographic documentaries on Disney+. We particularly liked Drain the Ocean because of how silly it was. Every episode began along the lines of, imagine if you could drain the ocean, peeling back the layers to reveal what's underneath. Now, with modern technology, we can. One day, as Mr. Russell Bolter began his usual narration, peeling back the layers of the Atlantic Ocean, he revealed a German U-boat resting on the ocean floor off the coast of South Carolina. I paused the show. Did you know that there were German U-boats on the East Coast during World War II? I asked my mom. She didn't, and so we took to Google. During my search, I happened upon an article written by the Coast Guard about a woman who intercepted clandestine messages sent by German U-boats before and during World War II. Her name was Elizabeth Friedman. I have never before become so immediately obsessed with a niche historical figure. Elizabeth was an English major who was obsessed with literature and got her start in cryptology working on a project for an eclectic millionaire. She wrote children's books, was famous for helping to take down gangsters in the 1920s, and worked with the Coast Guard during World War II to intercept and decode clandestine messages from German U-boats. But before she did any of that, Elizabeth was a 23-year-old school teacher in rural Indiana who hated her job. The first song of the musical begins with the moment Elizabeth decides she wants something different and goes to Chicago in search of a new job. The song starts with a simple melody, one that grows and swirls as she makes up her mind to leave the life she knows behind. When she does, the music changes suddenly. The key changes, and I employ the use of cluster chords to mimic the sound of car horns and the bustle of a city that would have been overwhelming to someone who had never been to Chicago before. I also introduce the first motif, Elizabeth's I Am Here motif, which sounds like this. A motif is a short, recurring musical idea, phrase, or rhythmic pattern that can be associated with a character, place, or idea. This particular motif represents change for Elizabeth throughout the musical. I also use a pedal tone throughout the first few songs. A pedal tone is a sustained or repeated note, typically in the bass, that continues throughout a passage while the harmony above it changes. Because Elizabeth's life would come to revolve around finding patterns, it was important to me to not only put patterns into the music, but to have them grow more complex as the story unfolds. I use quick two-note pedal tones throughout the first few songs to both give the music a sense of urgency, but to also provide a place for Elizabeth to grow from. While Elizabeth is in Chicago, she stumbles upon the Newberry Library, which happened to be open to the public when she was there in 1916 because they had a copy of Shakespeare's first folio on display. She speaks to a librarian there who introduces her to a man named Colonel Fabian. Fabian was an eclectic billionaire who used his money to fund science experiments on his estate, Riverbank, which was a massive 300-acre property in Geneva, Illinois. His favorite project was run by a woman named Elizabeth Wells Gallup. Wells Gallup believed that she had discovered proof that Sir Francis Bacon had actually written Shakespeare's works. Francis Bacon was an English philosopher and statesman who lived during Shakespeare's time and had a much higher degree of education than Shakespeare did. He also wrote a bilateral cipher, which was a means of hiding secret messages through the use of two fonts.
I feel Riverbank and spend the night with me?
Oh, sir, I don't have anything with me to spend the night with.
Well, never mind that. We can supply that. Come with me. Welcome to Riverbank. To I'm a scientist, you see. Welcome to my laboratory. Everything you see was made by me.
He's amazing what a genius. It's a place of meditation. It's a place to be if you want to make history.
Up your eyes and see your new world of fantasy. Open up your eyes and see your new world of fantasy.
How did I end up here? What am I doing? How will I know if I belong? So long, I played a life in boring teaching. Now I'm here. It's clear. There's a river running by, and I look up to the sky.
Well, we've got work to do. Well, we've got work to do. Well, we've got work to do.
Some men collect art with expensive grades, but all they'll ever be is satiated. That is why I stick to my experience, 'cause I'll never grow sick of knowledge.
We've got work to do. We've got work to do.
What do we do? Why everything?
Acoustical adaptation, maybe some animation too. And of course the zoo. It could be for you. What will you
What do you do?
I'm a geneticist. I work in the windmills.
You're a geneticist and you're in a windmill?
Let me introduce to you the woman I've invited you to meet. She has found a mystery, and if she's right, it changes history. And she's right
Welcome to Riverbank.
Elizabeth a key to Francis Bacon's bilateral cipher and a worksheet and tells her to figure it out. If you look at your program on page 9, I have shared the key to the cipher that Elizabeth likely would have received. This next song, the worksheet, begins with a melody you just heard in hidden text, which sounds like this. I introduced this motif during Welcome to Riverbank when Fabian first introduces Elizabeth to Wells Gallop. It happens again as an undercurrent throughout most of hidden text. The worksheet begins with this motif because it represents Wells Gallop's ideas about the first folio and Francis Bacon, and Elizabeth has not yet had time to form her own opinions. As the song progresses, the key and texture of the music changes as Elizabeth decides that Riverbank is the place she wants to be. Elizabeth gets the job and begins to live and work at Riverbank. She quickly grows close to a young geneticist named William Friedman. William was a hobby photographer who spent his free time taking pictures of the estate and was also recruited to work and take pictures for the Shakespeare Project. In this next song, Pictures, William sings about the pictures he takes at Riverbank and the person he always wants to be in them.
I see great chairs
like this is a reprise. A reprise is a repetition or reiteration of a musical theme or song, often a song that was previously heard in the same musical work, but in a different context or with slight variations. I chose to put the reprise rather than the song into my capstone because there's an important moment at the end of the reprise that's crucial to the plot. The story is not just about Elizabeth and her work, it's also a love story. At this point in the musical, Elizabeth has been at Riverbank for a year and grown incredibly close to William, and they spent many happy days together. They realize, however, that things are changing, and the safe, happy bubble they've been living in is about to burst as America enters the First World War. Even though they're singing about the happy days they've shared together, I wanted to make the music feel unsteady, to emphasize the undercurrent of anxiety they were feeling about the state of the world. I rapidly changed meters throughout the song, switching from 3/4 to 4/4 to give the music a lilting and uneasy feel. I also use a technique called non-imitative polyphony, which is a musical texture that features two or more distinct independent melodic lines sounding simultaneously, where each line is unique and not a variation or imitation of the others. Finally, I also harken back to a motif that I introduced during Welcome to Riverbank, the first time Elizabeth and William meet. It sounds like this. This musical idea shows up in a couple of different forms throughout the musical, but it always represents Elizabeth and William's bond and relationship with one another. In between songs, Elizabeth and William get married, and America enters the First World War. Fabian realizes that the Shakespeare team at Riverbank happened to be the only people in America working on decoding ciphers, a skill that would soon be in high demand. He offered Elizabeth and William's services to the U.S. government, and they were basically voluntold to train a unit of new U.S. military recruits on how to decipher codes. Elizabeth and William had only ever worked with the Baconian cipher, which they had come to determine wasn't even present within the first folio. Shakespeare did in fact write Shakespeare, so they had to learn a completely new skill as they were teaching it to others. During this time, they discovered that they worked best together and could quickly crack codes as a duo. Eventually, William gets deployed to France. In this next song, Without You Here, Elizabeth and William send each other letters. They lament how much harder it is to decipher messages without each other to bounce ideas off of. Eventually, they realize that their mail is being tampered with, and their messages may not even be reaching one another. I specifically wrote Without You Here in 3/4 because waltzes were a popular dance and music style before World War I. However, the style declined rapidly in popularity during the war, in part because men were fighting overseas, and social gatherings and dance floors became much less frequent. The waltz harkens back to their time together before the war, and is intended to evoke a sense of nostalgia and yearning. In the middle of the song, as the key changes from major to minor, Fabian enters, and we learn that he is tampering with Elizabeth and William's mail. His motif plays, but in a minor key, and with slight variations in the four-note pattern that happens over top of bass notes. Fabian's motif, which you hear throughout most of Welcome to Riverbank, sounds like this. between the song we just sang and the final two songs that we'll be singing tonight. Every song you've heard so far has been from Act 1, and I really wanted to include some songs from Act 2 in my capstone. After World War I, William and Elizabeth leave Riverbank and move to Washington, D.C., where William continues to work on deciphering codes for the U.S. government. Elizabeth struggled to get work as a woman, so she stayed home and had 2 kids, Barbara and John. Eventually, she gets hired by the Coast Guard to once again decipher codes, this time deciphering clandestine messages intercepted from the gangsters and rum runners along the American East Coast during Prohibition. Elizabeth appeared in a number of high-profile court cases and even testified against Al Capone. But before America entered World War II, she was hired again by the Coast Guard to decipher messages intercepted from German U-boats along the American East Coast. At the same time, her husband William was working on a separate project deciphering the Japanese code Purple. Just before America entered World War II, William's team had cracked enough of Code Purple to know that Pearl Harbor was going to happen, they just didn't know when. In the next song that we'll sing today, How Was Work Today?, Elizabeth and William navigate living with the burden of top-secret knowledge that they can't share with one another. Even though they are singing the same words, they are talking about different things. William trails off and stops singing before the end of the song. I did this to emphasize how difficult the pretense of a normal conversation was for him. After this song, he has a nervous breakdown, stops speaking completely for fear of accidentally sharing top-secret information, and ends up in the hospital. In the final song I'll sing tonight, Pretend, Elizabeth visits him and reassures him that everything will be okay.
How was work today?
It was fine,
Just fine.
always fine, just fine. How was work today? Did you try something new? I would love to tell you all that I do. What do you do? What do you do? How was work today? It's the same as every day, just the same in every way. It was fine. It's always fine, just fine. I will do what it will take to keep the secret safe from you, even from you, even from you. But I wish you could know all that I know. Nothing stays the same. Everything has changed. The country's in danger, and you don't know what I know.
How was work today?
How was work today? You know I cannot say. How was work? How was work today? How was work today? It was
Fine. Just fine.
together again, helping to build national security in America. Their story ends as it begins with Shakespeare. In their old age, Elizabeth and William write a book together called The Shakespearean Ciphers Examined, where they thoroughly disprove the theory that Francis Bacon might have written Shakespeare. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. It is truly an honor to get to share my music with you guys, and with the most amazing talented cast I could have ever imagined.